Hello, hello, hello. Yeah, it's 2 a.m. I'm thinking I have another idea I've been thinking about doing an episode for, but I might do it one of those live in front of a studio audience sort of deals. Do it as an actual episode, but it'll be it won't be a conventional episode in the series. It'll be, live in front of a studio audience. She wants to be here. I know, it's 2 o'clock in the morning there. But I might do it later, so it'll probably be like 9 or 10 a.m. for you. So, we'll see how it goes. But today, I'm going to push the limits of this game. I think I can do this. Let me get everything set up here. That's not what I want. Also, I don't look half dead anymore. Hang on, I gotta adjust that. There we go. There was some sort of auto setting on my camera that was making me look green for some reason. Let's see if we can adjust this a little bit here. Bring that down a little bit. There we go. That's better. Okay. Oops. Yeah, this is the first time I saw a crash site. I should have started a new map for the update video. That actually looks really good. Why can't we get blocks like this? Why can't we get textures like this? Well, I'm judging by the avatar. He, she, AZ. Oh, everybody's here. Give me a minute here. I'm like half prepared. I gotta get the picture up here. I got the chat there. Games here. And this is actually a good spot to build it. It's gonna be a big. You guys can see the picture okay in the corner? It should be that corner, I think. Let's see here. Where is it? Where is it? Where is it? There it is. See, to me, this is going to be an easy build. I've decided the railings, they are actually going to be the 2x2s. It's going to be between 40 and 50 base foundations high, which is going to be fun. Each step is going to be like basically a base foundation. This isn't the one I was using. But yeah, I've been thinking about like trying to actually push the limits. I wanted to do something detailed for a while. What the hell is going on here? There we go. That's what I want. So now I gotta figure out where to start. I'm sorry to hear that, Michelle. Alright, where's a good place to start here? I think right at that door frame. Let's see here. Actually, that might be a good place to start right there. let's see here. 1, 2. Okay. Alright, I have a starting point, so thank God I got the hover mode for this one. I'll have to take out a few trees, I think. You know what they should have in creative? A way to be able to get rid of the trees, instead of having to actually cut them down. Let's get the big ones out of the way. Alright. Yeah. Figure it's going to be about 100 meters in size. It's going to be big. Definitely going to be a game-breaking build. Well, you never know in a tutorial. A lot of people do hide things, and so it just sort of shows up all of a sudden, right? My mom was never married, so I've never went through any of that. That almost worked with the music. That was awesome. Now those should despawn. Okay. So it's gonna be nice. It's gonna be a really nice project. It's just a matter of like how far I can go with the game. That's my question. You know, I'm basically gonna be using small blocks. I know we can handle 20,000 parts. That's not a problem. But with the scale I'm gonna do this on, it's gonna be about 100 meters on all three sides, which should work because I don't think I think the helicarrier was about 150 maybe, 130 at least. So we'll see how it goes. But if it all works out, I plan on using lights and beacons to actually get some like color and detail into it, sort of, you know, make it actually look good. All right, let's abuse this hover mode. Should be a good starting point. And I'm just going to use all armor blocks just because, you know, the textures on the base foundation is a little off. I guess I could use ceiling tiles, probably be a little quicker. Yeah, you know what, let's do that. I don't want to be here for the next week building this thing. This might actually work better. There we go. That's what I'm looking for. So yeah, I'm actually starting, if you want to follow along. I'm starting at the door on the left-hand side. I'm actually going to start right at the top edge where that railing is. I'm going to work down. I've counted. It's going to be 12 stairs, which is 12 base foundations heights. I figured it was 25,000 units. 25,000 tons or something like that. Like I had about 16,000 blocks, and yeah, it was expensive or heavy. No, it was 25,000 times 30, and that's the weight. So 7.5 million. pretty heavy. Now, how high do I need this to go? So I'm going to calculate 1, 2, and I should just go this way. Yeah, I figured it was going to take about 1,500 1,500 air blades to lift that thing. Just no way it was going to happen. One of the things I wanted to actually ask Crane Balls about was setting up a console command to be able to turn off the animations. If you can disable animations on the blocks, or even turn the build vision lines off while you're building, and that would definitely help some of these bigger builds. Being able to move faster in hover mode would help too. Yeah, I like this. The only thing I don't like is this texture on the backside. Doesn't work. Okay, that's how did I go? 12. So I need 24 of these. And I haven't been counting. Let's see. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 2 more. Okay. If I post something in the forums, I'll usually get an answer for it. I don't specifically ask the questions. You know, I've got so many questions I'd like to, you know, if they ever show up, I'd like to ask them stuff. I'm not gonna grill them and say, oh, well, why this, why that, why that. I'm just, you know, just technical questions for myself, so I have a better understanding of what can be done. Like, I don't know exactly like how the chunk system works. If there's things that impact how the builds go, for instance, right? Just other things, little suggestions, but you know, just suggestions. So I think in this one I'm gonna go up. See here. One, two, three, four, five, 16, I guess. Let's do that. 32 up. Well, yeah. Okay, it shouldn't be that hard. I don't think. Especially the fact that, you know, they have a radio menu on everything. Everything's getting named now in the terminal. You can name everything. I don't know if you notice now when you place like wheels and hover pads, you actually have hover pad 1, hover pad 2, hover pad 3. As long as the textures are loaded, then it shouldn't be hard for them to just change a variable. Okay, well, instead of using this texture, you're using that texture. It's not hard as far as the block goes, but I gotta do some counting here. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29, 30, 1, and 2. I need to put a beacon down. I'm wondering if this is going to be too big now. Yeah, thanks. It's all stuff I've gotten off of YouTube's audio library. They have literally thousands of songs, but you know, not a whole lot of them appeal to me. Well, let's see how far we are. 70 meters. What's the longest anybody's ever built anything successfully? I think this might be too big. I'm probably going to be close to 200 meters. Oh, it's really handy. It's really slow, but it helps, especially when you're doing something like this. Okay, you know what? Before I go any further, I'm going to do a save, and I'm going to build up 220 meters, and we're going to see what happens. Because on this scale, and if I was going to use the conveyors, I'd still be looking at a fair size too. Yeah, I'm going to do that. Let's try it. Well, since the motto of the channel is challenging the impossible, we're going to challenge it. Just do it. Put a marker here. Alright, we're going up. But it's going to be basically a straight line all the way up anyways. This is, again, one of those many things that the new Unity would have helped out with. One of the things I would actually like to ask them is if they will ever attempt Unity 2017 again. Let's see how it goes. Oh. I miss all the time. Okay, well, I'll probably have a stream for you in the morning for you. Like I said, I have another really, really good build. I haven't mentioned anything about it, but it should be good. Uh-oh. I've hit the build limit. Ha ha ha. Oh, that's it. Game over. That's the end of the stream. See you later. 110 meters. Well, we're going to have to go to the desert then. And I'm stuck. Haha. I'm stuck. I can't go down. Oh, there we go. Yeah, we can't do this here. Let's see if we got desert anywhere. No way I can get the detail. Even if the railings were one block, it's still going to be Got 130, 140 meters. Yeah, okay, see you, AZ. I'll probably see you in the morning for you. And I did a small planet too, so there is nothing here. Alright, well, I guess we're going to start over again. Start a new one. And I'll just do a big planet this time. Yes, I did spell it right. Yes. Big planet. Keep that. No animals. They can leave me alone. No weather. And let's go. Yeah, I've noticed that when you go for the small planets, you don't seem to get any desert at all. Well, we're testing the limits, alright. Wherever that spawn was, you can't build more than 120 meters up. I wonder if it's got to do with the flight height, because you have a limitation of a couple of 100 meters above sea level, and that's it. So we'll see what happens. If I can find a desert, and I can't get the height, because in order for this to work, it's got to have some detail. Like, it's... And unfortunately, because of the railings, I got to be able to at least put one block down. If I can get 2 blocks in there, I can it'll work. But regardless, those steps are going to be 5 blocks. So if it's going to be 5, I might as well go 8 and make it look good. It's the problem with big plants. It takes forever to generate everything. Yeah, if this doesn't work, then we'll get into the other one. The other one's been one I've been thinking about for about a week now. It's sort of has to do with episode 99 there, trial and error. Had to do with the air blades on the chains. Yeah, we'll get out of that, get out of here, and just jump right into the map. Redeemer Monument. Head right to the desert. Let's see how high we can build. At least we won't have trees to cut down. And of course it's nighttime. Oh. Oh yeah, that's right. I always forget about that. When you're teleporting, you're actually still inside that thing. Right at the water. Alright. Let's get back into here. Need that. Need those. One of these and that as well. I should go over. There's actually a perfect spot right here. It'd be nice to actually have the monument right next to it. To about here. Always the wrong button. Okay. And now, I'm actually going to count the first 32. 1, 2, 3, 5. Wait, was that 7 or 8? 2, 8. 9, 10, 12, 13. That should be 30. 1 and 2. Alright, so yeah, 70 meters. So let's see how high we can go. You know, back in the other world, I was able to fly 200 meters up, so I should be able to build 200 meters up. I'm doing better already. Yeah, I think we can do it. Where are we? 157. Show me 200 without this thing disappearing. It's 183. There's 200 right there. Perfect. Elevator down. And there's my stop right here. Okay. So now what was the other one? Oh, another one was 12, so that's 24. Okay. So we learned something today. Can build 200 meters in the desert. Okay, so now. And maybe after I get this thing all built, I should do a backup save and unplant it and see how much lag we get. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24. 1, 2, 3, 4, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13. All right. So I'm going to do another line across here, and then I'm going to try to work on the doorway somehow. Now think of this. Each one of these is actually 1 ton, as far as I know. If one of the armor blocks is 50 kilos, then this should technically be 1 ton. So think of how much weight we got sitting here in the sand. I'm sure just to screw me over one of these days, they're going to implement weight displacement in the ground that you're sitting on. So if you build this hard, heavy structure on soil or sand, it sinks and falls over. So I guess stuff like this you actually have to build into the ground or find a way to dig pylons on the ground to stop from tipping over. Okay, and then on top of the doorway we'll go up. Go up another tile up to our marker. Yeah, it would be, but you have to realize though, stuff like that is really difficult. Like, you saw what happened with the, when I unplanted the helicarrier. It was okay having 20,000 blocks just planted somewhere, but you let it go where it's actually responding to the game. That's where you start having issues. And that was another suggestion I had, was about adding like it's like the game time in Besiege, but have it automatic, so the game actually slows itself down to accommodate the physics better. So instead of getting a choppy frame rate, it slows down a little bit to maintain that frame rate and those proper calculations, so you don't have any of the mishaps that many of us have experienced. Alright, we're almost there. Well, I am definitely feeling confident about this build now. We'll see how it goes once it starts progressing. I would be using small blocks, but this is much quicker and safer. So here I want to go 3. Right? Yeah, 3 steps, so 6. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Now I step it down. Yes. Just like this. Oh, I'm off. Yeah, that I understand what they are up against. You know, and that's so I keep trying to explain, like Junkosaurus, for instance. Like, half the reason some of my stuff went crazy like that is because you have overlapping grids, because the grid system that they use, each structure that you build, as soon as you place that second block, creates a second, like its own grid. So when you have something like the gyro, where you have 3 separate grids trying to move independently, the game just doesn't know what to do. It's like, forget it, I give up. You're on your own. Okay, and this is gonna go, should line up with that, or at the very end, not meet up with it, but go up to there. That's weird why that one's doing that. There's nothing here. Uh-oh. Game's not liking it already. And I'm off. is going to look so cool when it's done. If it gets done. See, that concerns me, but I'm wondering if there's like a... if that ridge on the block is actually technically part of the hitbox. Or if it's got something to do with the grid, maybe. Who knows? Just keep going until it breaks. Why not? Okay. Those are some big ass stairs. Nope. Okay, there we go. So now, so now what I do is at the bottom of that stair, this is where the floor is technically the door jamb. So then I just go right across here until I'm 2 steps from the top. Actually, now that I think about it, just for the texture, I should actually have all those small blocks. See if we can get a little a little bit of contrast. There, that's a better word. A little bit of contrast with my ceiling panels. That's not my blocks. There we go. That's what I want. Just because you have a different texture, right? So we can see them a little differently. So then I want to go 8, 3, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Alright. This should be relatively easy. Let's start it up here. I learned this from Minecraft. If you're going to do lines, which is how I determine this, you always want to start at the top. Because you got to be eye level. And stop hovering too. There we go. That's why builds like this are easy, because there's a lot of flat surfaces. Let's put it this way, it's a good thing I'm on a solid state drive when I'm doing this. Am I here already? Oh, that was quick. Alright, I needed... let's go 16 away. So let's put up some ceiling tiles. Ceiling tiles, please. 1, 2, 3, 4. Okay. Excuse me 1 second. If they have the green barnacles on them, yes. Give me a second here. But then usually in the areas, what you can do is just tap the ground. Let's see. Okay. But yeah, if you tap the ground in those areas, you should actually find the uranium down below. From what I remember, anyways. I can't remember the last time I played survival. Well, actual, proper surviving survival. Lately, for me, it's all been these crazy-ass projects. I'm actually gonna... As soon as I finish this one, I gotta reply to somebody here. Just so I know I'm streaming. Sorry about that. Okay. He was asking me if I can play, Bren was asking if I could play Life is Futile. I haven't actually looked at that yet. Actually, hang on, I gotta tell him something. Alright, sorry about that. Okay, let's go back to this. Let's see. Well, so far so good. We're about 400 square meters. Oh, come on, man. You're ruining my stream. Leave me alone. Ah, whatever. Oh, sorry. What you can do is, it seems, I've seen this a couple of times in your main spawn area. If you start venturing out and you start getting like the light brown sort of dead, I would call it dead grass, maybe even dirt patches. Those are usually your 1%ers right there. You'll find like 1% titanium, 1% silver, 1% uranium. Just look for it. Right when the biome starts changing, you start getting those light brown patches. And that's where I was getting all my everything at the lab there, that old one. You know, now with the selectable mining, that's awesome. Then you don't have countless amount of carbon clogging up your system in the Zanite, which really isn't no use for unless something's been changed with the air blades. Okay, so I'm gonna finish up this side of the door frame here, and then gonna fill it in. Yes, I know. And okay, let's fill this in with ceiling tiles. This might actually work out. Well, you know what? We're gonna keep going till the game can't handle it anymore. That's the plan. Just don't tell the developers, huh? Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, this is great. They're adding things that I've moved on from, right? Like, I have, with the stuff I'm doing, like, it's not a matter of the resources. It's like the amount of time I spent trying to build stuff in survival just because I'm using the multi-tool to finish it. And even then, with the Mark IV, you still had to go over every block twice just to finish stuff. Fuel wasn't an issue. Mind you, I probably would have a complete power network going around everything. Have everything wireless. The tank on a 200 meter long tether. Got to rework the tank, the gun though, or even redo the tank because I've thought about it. With the air blades now, I can actually use those to lift the turret instead of the hover pads because I can actually control it and I don't have to use the actual generator. I can just hop into the planetary or into the cockpit. I can turn it with the left and right. I can fire the gun with the forward, and I can adjust the height with the space. So I just hop in and it's a tank ready to go. One that I like, that was perfect timing for me actually making that the episode counter there, was the switch for the switchboards. Being able just to hit E. The only thing is though, is it doesn't have the same range as the config menu. So I have to sort of hover in front of the billboard to change the numbers. But to start in the right direction. I'm so glad I wasn't using small blocks. This would take a while. Hang on, I gotta change that. And that. I gotta get those off the playlist. That's better. Yeah. I'm a bit of a music lover. Whenever I can, I'm trying to listen to music. It's all I do on my way to work, while I'm at work, and while I'm out on my way home at work. And it's just like games, gives you that escape, right? Okay, and so yeah, these are gonna go all the way to the top here. Well, not really. Like, this frame didn't take me that long to do. But when I get into doing the things like the steps, it might save a bit of time. Okay, it doesn't like that. That's okay. Now that I'm thinking about it, where's that? I'm in the desert too, so I guess it wouldn't have mattered. It should work out okay. I did want to sort of have it lined up in a certain position with the sun. I was actually thinking about trying to get it onto an angle, but we started having the build height issue, so I just decided, let's go for it. You know, I'll be able to use beacons and get the beacons going behind the actual build to sort of light it up from the background, get some color and shadowing in. Do it this way, it's quicker. And once again, I love that hover mode. Oh, that just makes me so much easier. But it came in handy with the pinball table. Even though that thing didn't work. If they ever reintroduced that big ball, that might actually work, because that was just that was a single block, wasn't it? The large ball, whereas balls we're making is actually technically 8 blocks. And that's why it has problems rolling. I'm gonna have such a mess down below. Red, green, and blue. I can't remember if there's a white, but that was another one of the suggestions I wanted to bring up for them was like the small indoor light and the ceiling light, being able to add color options to that, so you can adjust the color of it if you wanted. Alright, so we got one going across, and then we got that one going across the bottom. Let's get that door frame set up. What we got here? 11. But even with like the beacon, like I'm wondering if it hang on, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. For instance, like the beacon, for instance, what if they were able to incorporate an RGB slider to adjust colors? Again, with the fact that every block basically has its own entity. Like, even though I'm adding blocks to the structure, it's technically one structure. Every block is still its own entity, and it has to be, because if I were to unplant this thing, it all has to move together, or if I decide to chop it down in half, that it has to know what to do with whatever is being disconnected. So where are we here? I'm wondering, let's how wide is this thing? Yeah, well, that's the thing. Like, technically, you could if you were able to hide the beacon under a floor or something, in going into dirt. Like, I think if you put a beacon facing down underneath the floor and one block away from the top of it, like top of the beacon itself, even though it'd be technically on the bottom, you had a ceiling tile. Technically, the light should reflect through the floor. And that's sort of what I'm planning on doing. My heart almost stopped there for a second. I looked at the other end and I saw that a big gap there in the block, and it's like, oh no, it didn't draw. What happened? Oh yeah, it didn't fill in. Alright, let's try to get some speed going here. That's not working out too well. Okay, now go here. I should probably do it this. This actually might work. Maybe. Nope. That's even worse. Let's do it this way. Actually, this should technically work. If I go right up to it. See, this way it has nowhere to place the block except right where I'm pointing, because I'm in the way. And I just spam the mouse button. Nice music to be playing while I'm significantly increasing the part count every second. Well, yeah. Well, that's the thing. It almost seems like everything that they're adding is just adding to future plans. Right, just the fact that they're getting 10, 12 updates between every major update. Like from point 7 to point 8, we had 10 or 12 updates, didn't we? You know, instead of just being like going at the, let's say, point 7, point 4, and then going right into point 8, they were going at least to point 7, point 8 on top of that. You know, I'll see, that's the thing. Point 9 can go to point 9, point 9, or even like they've done a couple of times, point 9, point 12, point 14 or something. And then after that, it'd be 1.0. And then any additional features that have been added after it's been technically a full release would be like a 1.1 or a 1.2 and stuff like that. So, unless it's actually 1 point something, it's not a full release. So you get games like Kerbal Space Program, for instance, was in a 0.90 state for a while, and that was the beta, and then it finally came out at 1.0, and now it's like 1.1 or 1. No, it was 1.3, and that's because they decided to implement some of the popular mods as a standard feature of the game, like the remote communications. I don't know if they could do a 0.10. I don't know if that's something like, yeah, but at a 0.90 or even like a 0.9, 0.6, you're pretty much a polished game. You're waiting for a last couple of things to show up at the last minute. You're trying to hunt down that last bug or two, and basically have no issues or any concerns with the game. Oh, this actually ate. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah. Okay. So now we can get back into the big tiles here soon. Actually, I want to try to work out this archway first. And that's actually one of the reasons why I wanted to go on this scale, so I can use the different types of slopes to get that proper curvature in some of these archways. If you look at the, guess in the middle, my phone turned off, so I don't actually see the picture right now. I think it was in the middle. Look at that big archway there, just above where I'm building right now. So I want to try to actually get some proper curvature in that. Well, yeah, that's the thing. Like, they could do like they've already done that. They did that with version 6, I think. It was 0.6, 0.12 or something I think we had. I know Medieval Engineers did that. I was looking at one of their videos, and they had a 0.4, 0.14. So yeah, they can go up to 0.8, 2,678 if they really wanted. But that actually looks bad for the game because it just means that they're dragging things on. So this is what I'm going to do here. This sort of doesn't do a standard arch. So I'm going to try something like this. I gotta go bigger. Much bigger. Let's go on this side so you guys can see. So I can see. Now I'm lost. No, I'm not. Okay, okay, yeah, I think this might work. I'm gonna go like this. Oh yeah, that's right. Yeah, because I actually want to meet up with this. And then I'm going to go up to 3. So what I did, I'm going to go here. So I started with 2, did 2 3 times. And now I realize this is kind of redundant because I'm using these panels. Because I got no filler for them anyways. So I might as well just do it this way. Oops. Let's see, 1 2 3 4. See, in a situation like this, being able to texture the blocks would come in really handy. Because now instead of being able to actually get a nice smooth curve in the door frame, now it's going to be a jagged, ugly mess. So let's see, 1 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4 5 6 7 8. Yeah, I guess I'm going to have to do it this way. Alright, let's just fill it the bottom in with ceiling tiles in. So 3 2 and then 1 1. 3 2 1 1. Simple. So now 3 3 2 1 1. I'll have to fill that in with blocks, which means that's actually going to be sunk back. Four, and 2 3 4. One, 2 3 4. 1 2 3 4. And I'll just do that on this side then, because this is going to get recessed in a little bit anyways. One, 2 3 4. 2 3 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. Yeah, and then I'll have to go in one more, I guess. 2, 3, 4. And there is our frame. Okay, let's make sure I got this somewhat. Oh, workshops, yeah, it's going to be a good one. When people can actually start sharing their creations. Looks a little off. I think I'm going to take this one out. We're going to go up. Okay. So it's time for a quick break. We're gonna come back in about 5 minutes or so, and we'll continue pushing this part count to the limit. Okay, I'm back. I haven't seen him yet, but hey, anything that's new in this game that could look like something else, sure, why not? So let's. I'm gonna finish up this archway, and I think it's time to start getting some depth into this thing. Probably bring the archway in a little bit, and then we're gonna start getting some steps going. I love having that monument in the background. I'm kind of disappointed about building this the wrong way, though. Actually, you know what? It should catch the morning sun. Because if it's sitting there, it should be rising over there. This actually be a good spot for it, I think. Maybe. If anybody's played Medieval Engineers, they have a really good debug menu. Oh yeah, I'm filling this whole thing in. When you're in creative, you can bring up a debug menu that actually allows you to adjust like the time of day, the season, the length of day, the angle of the sun, everything in real time. You can just drag these sliders and you can adjust it right on the fly. Okay. That sun should come up pretty quick. Oh yeah, there goes the moon flying by. Technically things should be a little bit lighter right about now. But one of the things I'm wondering about with the new planets is, are they going to have different world mechanics based on how far how far away they are from the sun? Are they going to have less gravity if they're smaller planets? Are they going to have less solar efficiency and less light if they're further away from the sun? Be interesting. And then there was talk about having different life forms, possibly. Well, you know what? Actually, a dish isn't that bad of an idea. Have you ever seen a solar cooker? No, it's basically it's all that is a metal dish that focuses all the heat into one spot. Instead of being actual solar, it could be sort of like a solar generator, where it's using a small steam generator or heat from that's being generated from the sun. That way you don't have to worry about rotating it. The dish catches the sun and focuses it into the center no matter where it is. Maybe in the future they might implement something like that. I was happy about these new changes, like the miner for one. But you know, that is, I think, a step to, yeah, one more. No, actually fill this right in. To being able to filter containers. You can choose which items go into what containers, for instance, so you could have a whole bunch of small containers, and maybe even the possibility of sometime down the road being able to pick them up with the items in them. Yes, exactly. Yes, exactly. But, you know, in that case, that wasn't just one. It was a whole army using polished shields, and they were all focusing the beams from the shields onto the forts and castles and whatever, and setting them ablaze because it was generating so much heat. It's no different than using a magnifying glass. You know, that's why try to do some of the stuff that I do in this game, even though the stuff that we have is basic primitive stuff. Look at Besiege. Even Besiege, for instance, that's all basic primitive stuff, and you look at some of the things that people have created in that game. yes, yes, yes. That's right. That's right. The ships that were coming in to invade the city or something. You got the guys out there on the cliffside, and he had them focusing it. I remember they actually tested that. Yeah, they tested that on MythBusters. They actually set up a small little boat in some reservoir, and they had 300 volunteers or something like that with shields to try to burn down the ship. Okay. So now, let's see here. Okay, so this is going to go in 1. Yeah, anybody ever watched that show Doing Da Vinci? Where that professor, had this thing where he wanted to recreate all of Da Vinci's designs, and these guys were trying to recreate Da Vinci's actual builds in the real world. That was a pretty good show. So now we're going to see what happens when we start getting this off just a basic 2-dimensional plane. I've been trying to figure out how deep those stairs have to be. This is where I gotta study the picture here for a second. Once I get this done anyways. It almost looks like I gotta go 6. And when I mean 6, I'm not talking ceiling tiles. I'm basing everything off base foundations, because the steps, if you look closely at the picture, well, you can't really look closely at the picture. I can bring it up a little more full screen for you, but each one of those steps is actually 8 blocks, which actually works out with the posts on the railings. If those are 2 blocks wide, and that spacing works out perfect for this build. And I'm wondering if we should do 6, because it sort of has to all tie in with everything else at the same time. Oh no, this wasn't a movie. This was a TV series. It was on Discovery Channel. Definitely an interesting one to check out. He tried like the Archimedes screw, not the screw, Da Vinci's screw copter. Tried to do that one. There was a whole bunch of other things, like they were trying to do like catapults and trebuchets and stuff like that, and trying to do it the way they would have done it back in, what, the 12th century or whatever that was. Well, it is possible. Like there's, oh, I should just do it this way, it'd be quicker. I don't know where it is. I think it was someplace in California, but they have, what was it, a solar collector or something like that. They use that to actually melt stuff. Just a whole bunch of mirrors connected up to, just that all focus up into a small spot, and this thing will burn through like titanium and forged steel and all sorts of stuff. And then there are solar power plants that do that. They're not using solar arrays themselves, like solar panels, but they're using mirrors to reflect the sun up to a tower that's got a bunch of water, and it just generates steam, and the steam just goes through a turbine and generates power. So it's turbine power using the sun. So let me have a look at this thing for a second. Yeah, well, that's the thing, and they were also saying too. Back in those days, they were using like wax and sap to fill in holes in the ship to like the seams between the wood to prevent it from sinking, and they were using that in a in account for that. So then the wax would catch fire, and then it would eventually set the whole ship up in flames. If they had munitions on it, then that made it even worse. So let me see here. I think I'm gonna say 6 on that. I'm gonna go 60. 6 out. So now I need to add a couple blocks. Thank you, hover mode. Yeah, and that was also, they weren't using like some of the polishing techniques that we have today. This was to make it accurate results. They were using the same techniques that they used back then to make sure that it was actually technically possible. You do use like some of the mirrors that we have, like for the telescopes. Oh, you could basically make a solar laser. Wouldn't be a problem. So I gotta go 12 out. So it's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. Okay. Now that I got that said, I can just go ahead and chat away now. Okay. Yeah, some of the things back then were like beyond the technology of the days. That's what made it quite impressive. And what it really all came down to is you're just using just basic physics. You know, if you can get an understanding of basic physics, you can do just about anything. This could be anything from gravity to things like leverage, and it's like me. One of the things I did at work a long time ago is we had to change out one of the tanks at work, and our tanks are 10 feet long, 6 feet wide, or 4 feet wide, 6 feet high. And I had to replace the tank that was in the middle of the line, and it didn't have the time or the determination to take all the tanks out. So I was able to actually get the tank out, and all I was doing was using the tank weighed 1,200 pounds, and I was able to get it out using a couple of dollies and an 8-foot long 2x12. A couple of cinder blocks. I jacked it up on the blocks, and I was able to roll it out no problem. You know, it was fairly simple. You don't need a big crane or hoist to move something that's heavy. If you can understand, you know, that if your fulcrum ratio, I'll call it, is like 10 to 1, you can move a car pretty much. Just put a little bit of elbow grease in it, you can flip the thing over, more or less. Actually, I should be doing that other row, should I not? Yes, that would make sense. Yeah, well, that's another thing too. Like something like that would be more efficient at the top of a mountain than at sea level because you're further away from the sun, or closer to the sun in that case, I should say. But yeah, math was so big back then. How's that looking? Yeah, it looks pretty good. Should be a good distance. We'll see how far this build goes. Gonna be interesting to see how well the game can handle it. What I'm gonna do is I'm gonna try to get like all the stairs and walls and stuff like that built in first before I start doing the railings. Because as long as we don't have a grid size issue, we should be okay. I'm confident in the part count. As long as I don't set it free, I shouldn't break anything. Something like this getting loose could crash everybody's computer that's watching. Is this thing out? Or is it just my perspective? Just a perspective. Anyway. Actually, yeah, we are going to get a little bit of sun on this. Come on. I love that snapping sometimes. Comes in so handy. Especially in those hard to reach places. Oh, well. I'll just start over here. Now, here's a question about these solar panels. I haven't seen them, but if they're supposedly a dish, can you fire a beacon at them and use them as a mirror? Get the beam to travel in different directions? Is it going to stop a beacon? Because a beacon's technically a light. Can you power it with a beacon? These are questions that must be answered. Then, will a red beacon generate more power than a blue beacon? Being at the lower end of the color spectrum. Damn it. Or light spectrum, I'll say. How many more stairs? We're about halfway. Baby steps. So what are our predictions for this build? Is it going to make it? Is it going to survive? Is it going to just suddenly disappear? Is it going to get the usual hitbox issue? Well, mind you, as long as I keep it loaded, we shouldn't have a problem. Can't wait till we actually start getting some depth into this thing. Go take a look at it. I've been started working on a new trailer for the channel, not intro videos, not the intro to the videos, but like an actual trailer for the channel. And I'm using the same song, and I'm getting that video put together of all, well, not necessarily all the games, but the major games on the channel, and it's starting to look good. It's a lot of work. Basically, the whole 3.5 minutes is comprised of 2.5-second clips. It's time consuming. I was up till like 1 o'clock in the morning working on it last night. That's why I slept in. And it's still gonna be a few more hours yet till that's done. But yeah, how many we got left? Oh, we're almost there. Awesome. I'm gonna look at trying to move my computer too. I realized yesterday actually when I was going through these clips, trying to put this thing together, that you can really notice my computer fan kicking in those videos. So I'm gonna see if I can rearrange a few things, make it a little quieter. Gonna look at getting a better microphone too. I'll see if I can scrape up the $200 for a Blue Yeti. Get that going, sound a little bit better. Tell you, some of my first videos, they were terrible. Absolutely terrible. Took me forever. And for some reason, again, just before I started streaming, Windows had adjusted my microphone volume again. Don't know what it is. Starting to bug me though. Oh, we're here. Awesome. Okay, how far do we have to go up here? Right to the end. Alright, so build up 2 and then go 4. Actually, we'll just go 4 across. 2, 1, 2, 3. Okay, and that should leave 4. Yes. All right. Probably easier to do this one up here. Don't let my feet touch. Oh yeah, so much easier than using small blocks. As much as I wanted to. Take about 3 years of live streams to get it finished. Oop. That wasn't good. I felt that one. See, and I'm just doing a shell. I'm not actually building this thing solid. That'd be crazy. I just had one of those moments. One of those "what am I doing" moments. Yes, what am I doing? I think I know how to build by now. There'd be such a mess at the bottom. Give me a second. Alright, sorry about that. I'm gonna finish up the stairs and we'll head down to the bottom. I'll take a look and just... You call that a monument? This is a monument. That's how high we're going to. Hopefully. See how it goes. Actually, I should screenshot that and upload it to Steam. Could be taller than mountains by the looks of it. Yeah, I had to take a picture of that. That's just funny. Okay, now I realize it's a big build. Alright, okay. Just making sure the rest of it's still there. You never know. speed things up a little bit here. Three more. Should work. Yes, perfect. Yeah, all right. Yeah, what I'm gonna do is after it's all done, or till the game decides not to cooperate anymore, I'm gonna time lapse it, of course. I might still be working on it later. I don't know. It's until it's done or until I break the game, which is basically the normal around here. And there we go. See how we're looking here. Don't want to get too far away. Before I go, I take a little look before at the bottom here. Since I'm on the ground, I can move a little quicker. And that's huge. The doorway didn't turn out the way I wanted. Now I'm thinking about it. Should have been two. Yes, I actually gotta fill that in with small blocks. Not a problem. So here, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 26 from the door frame. Need to be able to go faster with a jetpack. Slow. Okay. 1, 2. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19. And I lost my count. And 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Let's go on the other side so I can actually see. Guess we could do it this way too. So 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Okay, 18, 18, 19, 20, 1, 1, 2, 3, and 6. Okay, and now it's gonna go up. Now we gotta go back up to the stairs, I think. Try to get this all to work in proper. So go up 3 from here. One, 2, 3, 4, 6. Now just step it all the way down. this one up, and then I'll just join them. It does kind of concern me that it keeps twisting like that on me. Of course. Of course. Good thing I wasn't using small blocks. Alright, let's try this again. Yeah, this was supposed to come out right from the stair. Or from the bottom of the stairs. Alright, let's try this again. One. Let's do it this way instead. Make it a little quicker. It's 2, 3, 4, 5, and 6. That's, oh, I took out the wrong block. That's cool. Okay, so it's going to be there. So this whole area gets filled in. What do you have? 12:30. Oh, 12:30 my time, and of course my coffee's ice cold. Still lukewarm. I wonder if that's got to do with maybe vegetation that's down below me. Maybe I have a cactus down there that's just too close to the structure. I don't know, maybe I just broke it. Not the first time. Like that. What is that? Nothing there. Oh, I didn't need to go that far. Actually, I did. Yes, I did. Some of the screens are so. Oh, hang on. I want to take a screenshot of this. I like it. All right, let's fill in some area here. I have no idea what does this. We're having issues already. Oh God. What have I done? Okay. Well, I can't actually like direct snap now for some reason. Just a pinball table all over again. Oh yeah. Oh, there's a long way to go. I would have used base foundations, but they're not white. Well, they are, but too dirty looking. You ever notice that? His legs actually move when you're moving in the hover mode. Dangly legs floating around. It's weird. There's one spot right here, just throws it right off. Come on. There you go. Has anybody seen the game Star Citizen yet? It was a game I was looking looking into. I need to upgrade my computer before I can play that game. The video card's not quite enough for it, but it's like a really good, like amazing looking space game. Seems to be, you know, like an open-ended type of game where you can basically go and do whatever you want, right? Looks pretty good. You could almost compare it to Hellion, but it's not that sort of thing. Like, it's just incredible the way the gameplay is. It's like, it almost has like, you've seen the original Total Recall with Arnold Schwarzenegger. It has sort of that feel of it. Maybe a little bit of Fifth Element sort of feel as well. But at the same time, it's like a space game. You got your own ship you can take off from. It's like totally seamless. You leave a base, you go out through the airlock, out to the planet, you get into your, climb into your ship, up to the cockpit, fly up to the atmosphere, out into space, and travel a couple 100 million kilometers to another planet or something. Or right now it's just a moon, but it's totally seamless. It's just like incredible. It's straight up orbital mechanics and physics and everything. Looks really good. It's super early alpha right now though, but even then it needs a beefy computer, or a beefy video card at least. Oh, big bold letters, minimum 4 gigs or 4 gigs of video RAM. Need like a 200 gig solid state drive. I don't even have that. Especially if I plan to record something like that. But first we'll see what Christmas brings, and then second we'll see what January brings. End of January. I might be coming into something that'll help me with an upgrade or two. But if you want to check it out, it's Robert Space Industries. RobertSpaceIndustries.com. You can get into it right now. It's sort of a Kickstarter thing right now, sort of like how Planet Nomads was. You can start out at $50. They just give you the basic ship, but you can spend a little extra and get some of the better ships they have in them, and they have a lot of ships with a lot of crazy designs. I'm not gonna shell out $500 for a ship though. You know, I'm not a big famous YouTuber. I can't afford that. But it looks good. It looks like it's got good potential. I think he was been in development for a couple of years already. It's probably going to be could be another 3 or 4 before it's done. Really? I haven't really followed too much about it. Somebody else was telling me about it. But I was looking at it, like their site, and it showed their funding. My God, the amount of money they've made on that game already. It's like 170 million. It's just crazy. Okay, now let's go down here. Really? Huh. Alright. I guess I won't be getting into that then. Okay, so here I'm going to go out 6. That's going to be the step. We're starting to get some size here. So this is at the bottom of the step. So then 10 more. 1, 2, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, and 10. And we broke the game. No. Not yet. We're getting there. We're starting to get some size here, some definition. That's what takes the time, is counting everything out. Oh. Okay. Yeah, now for here. Yeah, I was actually really good and really into Hellion, and then the whole damage and decay thing kind of ruined it to me because it was too aggressive. I was having hull breaches like every day. Like I couldn't keep my life support to save my life, and I actually needed it to save my life. Alright, and here I'm going to let's get a starter block. Put it here. Handy dandy panels out. That's gonna be interesting. Quick, everybody fire up Planet Nomads and build at home with me. We'll do this together. You can do it on your world, I'll do it on mine. Alright, let's get another one. Six people watching. All right. Good. We have witnesses when I break the game. We still have a long way to go. Actually, I shouldn't be scaring people like that. Okay, and now, so let's see, I want to go, yeah, two more stairs, and then that'll be on this side, so that's going to be like that, that, and there. And that'll be the bottom of the build. We'll go up here. This links up the stairs here. See if we can actually get this one in place. And then what I'm going to do on this one here. Good question. I'm trying to think. I know the helicarrier, or not the helicarrier, the original aircraft carrier did it. Other than that, pinball table. Did it a few times with that one. What other ones have? It's more like you should be asking, when didn't I last break the game? think this one here is gotta go. That. It goes up to the step, and then there's one. No. No, I know what I'm doing. Honest, I swear. Yeah, it should be even with the step then. Guess we do it this way then. See how we're doing here. Yeah. That is what we do then. We do it this way. And this is where things start getting confusing. Because now I'm actually technically building another floor. Even though it's in behind the stairs I was just working on. And this goes up to here. Is that the right one? Yeah, it has to be. And then we have more stairs. These ones actually go slightly past too. Yeah, that's definitely a question you don't see come up too often in live stream chats or any discussions for that matter. When was the last time you broke the game? I don't know. What day is it? What time is it? I should say. Bang! Technically, that should cause everything to drop. Did I do that wrong? Yes, I did. Did I do any more wrong? Of course I did. Yeah. I gotta start over. Ha 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 ha. Well, so far it's holding up. So far in scale, including that thing up there, it's definitely largest in size, but once we start adding a few thousand blocks to it, that may change. Okay. So I do it this way. Then on the top. Okay, I just gotta remember on the top I go on the top, on the side I go on the side. Makes sense, right? Okay, so from here, I need to go up 2. One. And 2, and then it curves, so that's gonna be tricky to do with these stairs. Go up 1 past that one. So there's that, and just like that. Not like that. Let's see that there. So now, we have the stairs there, we have stairs up here. Sort of all over the place. I'm actually trying to see if I can get that ring of staircases sort of in place, so it's a little easier to start filling everything in. It's really all about spacing, right? Like 1, more. So yeah, I guess we'll do it that way then. This was down here. That doesn't seem to work out. Of course not. Stairs are supposed to go up one more. Alright, well, it's a good sign that it's time to stop for a quick lunch break. So, we're going to come back in like 20 minutes. I'm going to actually stop the stream and start it up again so it's easier for me to download this and time-lapse it eventually, if it's ever done. Because I got to take all this back out and go up one more. See, because the wall of the top stair actually starts here, so this floor is actually supposed to be up here. Actually, it's not a game breaker. Never mind. Whether or not it connects or not, I have no idea. But anyways, yeah, well, I'll come back 20 minutes. Alright. I shall see you shortly.